Hey guys, my name is Rob and welcome to my channel. Right now the sun is setting, you can see it right about there, here in Cambodia. I've actually currently living in Siem Reap. I've been in Siem Reap now for about 7 months, 7, 8 months, something like that. And I am basically stuck here because of COVID and what's going on. So reason why I'm recording this is more to kind of share a story with you all who are watching. And yeah, just it's kind of crazy just how like this whole COVID situation has completely changed my life. So so originally I was living in the US. I'm from Los Angeles, and I basically had decided to leave the US for mostly for personal growth reasons. I had traveled off and on for about, I don't know, 7 years or so, doing these long trips and then coming back to the US, but never doing a trip that lasted for an indefinite amount of time. And it was one of those things, one of those decisions that I made that I felt if I didn't do it, I would 100% regret it on my deathbed. And so I essentially dropped everything. I gave everything that I had up, and I basically, donated everything. And I put everything into a backpack and I left everything behind. Now luckily at the time, and still am, single, no kids, nothing like that. So for me, it was definitely easier for me at that time to do that. And I knew that at this point life would probably only get more complicated if I just decided to wait. So anyways, I went backpacking for about half a year in South America. And then from there, I basically went to Vietnam. I was running out of money. I literally had like nothing left. In fact, I had to borrow money just to get to Vietnam. It actually took me about 6 months to pay the person back, but I did. I paid him back. And so I was living in Da Nang for a couple months, and then I went to Saigon, and then I was basically teaching English in Saigon for about like half a year or so. And then I basically came to Cambodia to what was supposed to be a like a 3-week vacation, essentially, through Tet, which essentially is like Chinese New Year. And so I was on the islands of Koh Rong, Sam Loem, and I basically got a message from a friend in Vietnam. She was telling me, "Hey, borders are, Vietnam's talking about closing their borders. Like, you should probably come back." And I was like, oh my God, like I gotta go back. Because I was at the time, like I still am, resident of Vietnam. And I was like, I gotta get back. So I told myself, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm just gonna go back to Vietnam. So the next day, I took a ferry, and I think at this point, this was probably like early March. I took a ferry back to mainland, to Sihanoukville. And then basically from there, that morning I could still book a bus from Phnom Penh, which is the capital of Cambodia, back into Vietnam. Well, by the time I got into Phnom Penh, all the buses were booked up. All of them were booked up. And at the time, I was so confused. I was like, wait, how could this be? How in the last few hours did every single bus get booked up? And it kind of dawned on me in that moment that the buses weren't booked. The borders closed. And now here I am in Phnom Penh, and I'm like, crap, what am I going to do? At the same time, the islands that I just came from also went into lockdown. So there's no one going in or going off and onto the islands. And so basically here I am, I'm in the capital, I'm in a third world country. A lot of other foreigners were panicking as well. I'll never forget, I'm at this hostel, and so many foreigners were spending thousands of dollars to try and get back home to their countries. Basically for me, I had essentially accepted the reality of the situation. I was still pretty scared at the time, like not gonna lie, like I did not want to be stuck here. But I was like, it is what it is. So anyways, around that same time, I had a friend reach out to me about maybe doing some online work. And essentially I started an online business, and that completely changed everything. And so now I actually work online, and I've now become a digital nomad. And essentially now I'm living my dreams as far as just being a digital nomad is concerned. And so now I'm actually here, still here, obviously in Cambodia, and it's just been wow, it's just been an amazing ride. And I may do another video about my actual experience while I've been here in Cambodia, because I kind of want that to be a separate thing. But it is amazing, like, how this whole series of events has changed everything. I mean, I used to be at almost $20,000 worth of credit card debt. I've paid that all off. I still do have like student loan debt, but I'm paying that off too. And so it's just been like this crazy situation of going from this position of not only not having that much money, but then being able to, have money, and being able to pay off my debts. And then on top of that, being in Cambodia during this whole experience, and just kind of looking at it from, being a foreigner here, not only in this country, but also looking at it back in the US and what's going on there as well, how much that has changed. So anyways, guys, I just want to share a story. Primarily the big takeaways here are that even when things outside of your control do happen, that a lot of the times it turns out to be for the better. I think if you mentally accept what's going on and start to think of solutions, I think those solutions do come, and I think it actually turns out to be overall a really good situation. And I think the other thing too is just be positive, I guess. And and honestly, I'm just really grateful. At the end of the day, I'm so happy that things did turn out the way that they did. I'm so happy for the support I've received from friends and family back at home, back in the US. And now it's great because I have established an online presence, an online career, where once COVID does kind of go away, or does become a thing of the past, which could be another year, I'll be able to kind of continue on my journeys, which is originally is me going to Africa and actually backpacking along the way and living in different communities and different cities, so I can experience the culture and the ways of life. And I'm hoping I can continue to post that on here as well, sharing those experiences, and and just loving, living life, and just spreading positive vibes to everyone who is watching. All right, guys. Well, anyways, on that note, thank you so much for watching. Have a great, wonderful day. Bye.